right.
Now the director's report.
Okay. Well, regarding city council actions during July, of course, the item that I think is of most interest to the commission is the Planning Commission appointments. As you know, 3 of your terms are expiring, actually on June 30th. And that was Chair Coomerly, Commissioner Sherman, and Commissioner Steinberg. Commissioner Sherman and Steinberg indicated they did not wish to seek reappointment, while Chair Coomerly did. We had 13 applicants for those 3 positions. The City Council held interviews on of 6 of them, 6 of the applicants on July 2nd, and the other 7 on July 16th, and they then made the appointments. They reappointed Commissioner Coomerly, and they appointed new commissioners Stephen Keller and Brad Gunkel. The new commissioners' terms will begin on September 1st, and their first meeting will be on September 26th. So congratulations to Chair Coomerly and to our 2 new commissioners. In other action, on July 2nd, the City Council held a study session on the Master Joint Occupancy Agreement between the City and the School District for the Center of Community Life project. On July 16th, also regarding the Center of Community Life, the Council approved a sublease agreement between the City and the School District for that project. It's based on the sublease from 2002, whereby the City leases the gym, the swimming pool, and sports field from the School District, and this extension or amendment to it will facilitate the hazardous materials abatement work and the later construction of the ECCL project, and it covers the period of time when the ECCL project will be under construction to clarify the obligations of the city and the district during that period. The vote on that was 4-1, with Councilmember Asher voting no on that item. The council approved a noise waiver for the Ambassador Housing project so that they can do construction work on Saturdays. The approval was for 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. for all Saturdays between now and November, when the project will hopefully be finished. And according to the applicant, this should cut 2 to 3 weeks off of the overall construction period. The council did add a condition that RCD, the developer, has to build an 8-foot tall fence along the rear property lines of the 2 private houses that front on Adeline Street. As you may recall, there's 2 houses that are privately owned that are kind of surrounded by this project, and so the applicant will be required to build an 8-foot tall fence on their rear property lines. The council approved an RFP and appropriated $313,000 from the Public Art Fund for the Shellmound Powell Street Bridge Art Project. This is, you may recall, is an outcome of the Shellmound design guidelines. It was decided to do a special project just focusing on the bridge area. The Public Art Committee is working on that. I think actually a special task force has been appointed. So an RFP has been approved and money has been appropriated for that. 3706 San Pablo Avenue, which is the former Golden Gate Lock and Key site, now vacant, that is now owned by the city as the successor to the redevelopment agency. And that was purchased with housing money, so it's going to be an affordable housing project. The council approved a short list of developers for the project based on a recommendation from the Housing Committee. That short list includes EAH Housing, Satellite Affordable Housing Associates, East Bay Asian Local Development Corporation, or EBALSI, and Link Housing. There is a community meeting which is scheduled for August 15th, and there is a flyer in front of you about that. So hopefully you can attend that community meeting if you're interested. It starts at 6:30 here in the council chambers, and the boards for these 4 proposals are going to be on display out here in the link during that week prior to the meeting and then after it as well. So from August 12th through the 16th, the boards will be on display.
Charlie, are the boards also available online, the drawings?
I do not know. The flyer gives a website where you can go for further information, so I assume the boards are probably on display there. After the community meeting, the project will then go back to the Housing Committee for them to recommend a developer. and then back to the council for them to approve that developer, and eventually it will come to you for its planning entitlements. Not sure when, but I would guess sometime within the next year. The council will not be meeting in August, so there shouldn't be too much for me to report at your next meeting about council actions. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to respond to any questions you may have.
I have a question. An 8-foot fence on a rear property line, is that consistent with the planning regulations?
In this particular case, it is, because this is not in a residential zone. It's in a mixed-use, MUR, mixed use with residential, and there's no setback requirements, and the planning regulations say that the maximum fence height in residential zones is 6 feet and in other zones is 8 feet. So, yes. Short answer is yes.
Okay. We'll start with our public